Hello, and welcome to another episode of DubaiPodcast. Today I have with me, as usual, Jose and Simon. How are you guys?
I'm really good, Pablo. How are you?
I think this is going to be such a special episode. How are you, Jose?
I'm fine, thanks. I am excited as well about this different episode. It's going to be great.
Yes. So today we don't have a normal episode. We don't have it's going to be like a special. We're going to talk about Canine Friends Dubai, which is a dog shelter here in Dubai that rescues abandoned dogs, among many other things, and finds them like loving homes. We have with us Belinda, the manager of Canine Friends. How are you? Thank you so much.
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank
you
so
for
much.
coming.
Thank you so much for coming. I know this is going to be such a special chat with you because we're going to go through everything that you guys in there do. So you are volunteering, I guess. You're a group of volunteers.
That's right. We're totally volunteer run. Everything we do, we rely on the community and people to help us.
That's good. So I want to start by sharing my opinion because when I first came to Dubai, the image that I had from a dog shelter, at least back in our home country, is that if you go there, it's in order to adopt a dog. I didn't consider that there were more options for people if they wanted to help, but you have, like we've seen, like a big list of options in case for any reason they are not able to adopt because they live in a small studio or they're maybe traveling very often here in Dubai. People are coming and living.
And it's hard to engage in Dubai because a lot of people are here for short times. So It's an engagement to have a dog, and a lot of people leave the country really fast or stay at least a year or two. So taking a dog is hard. So it's really nice that they have other way to help as well.
Absolutely. You're right. It's a huge commitment having a dog. And obviously as a shelter, our primary purpose is for adoptions. But like you said, we recognise that not everybody is in a position to make that commitment to adopting a dog. So yes, we do have plenty of other options that people can come along and help because they might want a dog, but the circumstances aren't necessarily right at the time.
Okay, but first let's start by this. Is it difficult to own a dog in Dubai because of the climate? Maybe being able to walk here where we live right now in Dubai Marina. I wish we had more parks around. We'd be able to walk the dog. In summer, it might be also difficult to get my dog outside to walk because dogs need to go out every day to walk. So
absolutely, I think
it's a tricky place.
It's not the easiest place, certainly for those of us who come from Europe, where we make certain assumptions about having a dog. Maybe our families have had dogs, and it is very different here for different reasons. Firstly, the transiency of Dubai. As you said, people are here for a very short time and they can leave at a moment's notice. And that's a big problem. A dog is as much commitment as if you've got your children with you, because and it's probably more expensive than if you've got your children with you.
I heard vets here are pretty expensive.
Well, it's not just the vets bills, it's the relocation costs when you move back to your own country. As you also mentioned, Dubai is it's a city of apartments, and it's not always easy having a dog in an apartment. Just getting that dog out can be hard. And again, as you said, the climate. It's it is. We all know it's super hot here in the summer.
But summer here is 6 months, or 5 months.
Exactly.
3 months or 2 months in Europe.
Exactly, and that is a challenge. For having a dog, because it means you've got to get up super early to walk your dog. Else the pavement. I don't know if you've ever tried standing on tarmac in bare feet in the summer. Imagine that for a dog.
Fry an egg in there.
Exactly, and so you're frying your dog. The vets see several cases of dogs with burnt paws because it is so hot. Owners taking them out in the heat of the sun, and they've literally burnt their feet.
You need special shoes if you want to get them.
Well, you do see dogs wearing little boots. It's actually quite cute. But
out of curiosity, how many dogs do you have right now in Canine Friends?
We generally have between 120 and 130 dogs.
Okay.
Depending on how many are adult dogs and how many are puppies.
Okay.
It's quite a big numbers.
It is, yes.
And also, I think it's difficult because there is a lot of bans in a lot of buildings to have pets. For example, here we have a ban. We cannot have any kind of animal.
But I've seen people that own dogs also in this apartment. So that it's kind of people don't pay attention to this restriction.
It's a lot of things in Dubai,
But that's a problem though, because if if you are in a building where there is a ban on dogs and you have one, and then the building management or the landlord can quite easily turn around instantly and say, no, you've got to get rid of the dog.
Yeah.
And that is where some of our dogs come from, because people have taken a dog
That's
into an
a reason.
apartment, and then they've been forced to give it up. It's one of the requirements we have if people want to foster or adopt, is we need to see a letter from their landlord or from the building.
Yeah, making sure that's very smart.
So that can't happen. We don't want that to happen to people who've fallen in love with the dog and then are told, you've got to get rid of it, and we don't want that to happen to the dog.
You can always move out, you can always change your...
Exactly,
place,
which is more important.
You are stuck in 1 year lease, so it's difficult as well.
Okay, let's get to the different options that people have for people listening in Dubai, or maybe not even in Dubai. Like if you're living in the UAE and you're listening this, you have more options than just adopting. And I want to go through some of these options, and I want you to explain to us what they consist of. First one that we have is dog walking.
Absolutely, You can come in during the winter months when it's cool. You can come in to the shelter, take a dog out for a walk. You can take it back home if you wish for the afternoon, and as long as it's back to us by 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
So when you say winter months, which months are they exactly?
I mean, it does depend on what the winter that we call it is doing that particular year. Sometimes we can start as early as September. Sometimes it's not until November that the weather's cool enough.
Okay, up till like April?
April to May, again, it depends what the seasons are doing that particular time. You know.
So someone just can go there, say, okay, I want to go for a walk. I think it's something so nice, because you are like helping the dog, you're helping the shelter, you're helping yourself, because going for a walk, it's always healthy for you. Like you're gonna exercise, you know.
Yeah, plus with all the stress you get in Dubai, like being with a small, probably little thing like it's gonna walk with you. You're gonna release some stress. You're gonna walk a bit. There's a lot of advantages with by doing so.
Absolutely. I mean, it does need to be by appointment. We need to know you're coming in, so we can make sure that there's some volunteers there to sort out the right dog for you. And unfortunately, where our shelter is based, there's nowhere nice to walk where we are. So you'll need to have transport to take the dog away with you somewhere. We can recommend some places that are nice to walk a dog, but unfortunately, where we're based in an industrial area,
All right, so
it's not the nicest place to take a dog for a walk.
Okay, so what people need to do is like call you, tell that they are coming on the day go for the dog walk.
Absolutely. Give us a call. If we've got space that day, we'll tell you what time is available. Come in, we'll match you up with a suitable dog depending on your level of experience with the dog, what kind of dogs you maybe like. And then off you go.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I think we should do this,
with the convertible and the dog,
Okay, so this is recommended for the person coming to have a car, and then transport the dog out.
And you have the leash and everything, so they don't need to.
We'll provide you with the collar, with the lead, with the identification tag, just in case something happened. But you would need to take the dog away somewhere so you could have a nice walk.
Yes, okay, that's right. And this is available every day of the week.
Every day except Friday.
Okay.
We're closed on Fridays, and Saturdays does get really booked up because that's when a lot of people are working. So unfortunately, Saturdays you need to book a week in advance if you want a slot on the Saturdays, because it's a bit of a catch-22 for us on a Saturday, because it's our busiest homing day when people are coming in wanting to adopt dogs and they can't see dogs to adopt if they're all out on a walk.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Do people usually take a dog out for a walk, then they get
attached
to it?
It does happen, yes. We get people who've walked a dog a couple of times. They request it again. And people do request the same dogs. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. Because we like to be fair to all our dogs. We like them all to get out for a walk,
Of course.
if possible. So it's not always possible for somebody to have the same dog again. So in that case, if you've really fallen in love, we'd encourage you to maybe foster the dog.
Okay, so it brings us to our next point that people can do for help. Fostering a dog, which it's not adopting the dog. It's
a short-term measure. Sometimes it's because you're not sure if a dog will actually fit into your lifestyle with how you work with your family, or maybe you have a dog already and you want to test that the dogs
they get together.
You're actually in a home environment get on with
we
each
had
other.
we had a friend that took a dog and then
he fostered the cat.
and he fostered a cat, yeah. But then he had a dog as well, and they didn't get on well at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard mix if they don't grow up together. If you try to make them match when they're both old, it's
So if
Not always easy, no.
If you foster a dog, how long do you have to test the
Well,
environment?
it depends. As I say, fostering for different reasons. Sometimes it's because we have some regular foster families who can't have a dog, but do have periods of time where they can foster, and that gives some of our long-term dogs a great break from the kennels. Dogs that maybe been overlooked for no fault of their own, they've just been overlooked. And it gets them out, and it gives us some great information on how that dog does in a home environment, which is very different from the kennels. In the kennels, our dogs are never left alone. They're always sharing a kennel with another dog, and there's constant people around. In your own home, you're going to leave the dog for certain amounts of time. When you go shopping, everybody has a life. And it's nice for us to know how they do when they're left alone for a bit. Are they going to chew your sofa, or are they going to be good?
Are they going to destroy everything in your house when you come back? Or it's gonna be alright.
Okay, so that's I think that's a really good option also, the fostering, so just people know that this is another option that they have. I've also seen that people can sponsor, and not only sponsor a dog, but they can sponsor a kennel. I read they can sponsor an AC unit.
AC.
Yep.
I was really shocked about this.
You see, we're very lucky. We've got this amazing shelter facility that was built by the Dubai government, but we have to fund it. So we have to do all the maintenance, and that's totally by people, by the community supporting us and sponsoring things. So the shelter's now 11 years old. So the AC units
Are starting to crumble.
are all starting to get to
And
that
they're
time
very
in
necessary.
life.
They're very necessary.
And out here, they're very, very necessary. Yeah.
Especially
So
in a
40
month or two from now, it's going to be...
exactly, they're vitally important. So you can sponsor an AC unit. You'll get your name up on the website.
Nice.
You can sponsor a kennel. That's where 2 dogs live in each kennel. You'll have your name up outside the kennel. And sponsoring a dog, that you get a little information pack on your dog, and that will fund the vaccinations and things like that. We're incredibly lucky that we do have some great sponsors. Pets Delight, the company,
the food, right?
They sponsor our food, which is brilliant. So that's one thing we don't have to worry about. But we've still got huge costs: vaccinations, neutering, just healthcare, our vets bills.
Yeah, it must be pretty high, all the vets bills.
Yeah, and the sponsor, when someone's sponsoring, it's doing it per year, per month?
Per year, yes.
Per year. Okay, so everything, kennel, dog, or AC unit is done per year.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. I think we should tell also how much people are willing to contribute. What's the price of sponsoring a dog, the kennel, or the AC unit for people to know?
Sponsoring a dog is 370 dirhams a year,
Which is really cheap.
That's less than brunch.
It's exactly what I was
less than
gonna
a
say.
brunch.
It's exactly what I was going to say. And it's per year.
Per year.
Yeah.
It's what you're spending in one day, in 4 hours in a weekend, and it's the same.
So, Pablo, you're going to have to skip the next Zero Gravity.
Sponsor a dog, bro.
I agree to this. I
So,
100% agree.
Next Thursday, you take a picture in your couch. You say, I didn't go to Zero Gravity, and I
will.
sponsor the dog.
I will, and we will show in our Instagram.
Yeah.
podcast.
And we'll
I
send you a
will
picture
certify.
of a dog.
Yes. Okay, that's the dog, and the kennel.
Kennel is 1,050 for a year, so that's 2 dogs keeping their kennel safe, clean, AC'd, maintained.
Okay. And the AC.
AC, that's 5,000.
Okay.
'cause-
Per year.
Per year, because obviously,
It's more.
AC unit's a bit more expensive, but as you said, it's kind of important
It's important.
out here.
I also saw a calendar. You also do calendars? Or?
Yes, we do, and we produce a calendar every year with pictures of our dogs.
I recommend everybody to look the picture of the dogs in the website. Man, you're gonna fall in love, but oof.
We know Jose melted when he
Yeah,
saw
I
when he saw them like
melted.
that.
My heart melted. Oh.
Okay. Next point. Volunteering. Let's say that someone listening to this is willing to help you, to volunteer, to work there with you and help as much as they can. What do they need to do? What days can they go to help? What's the procedure?
The procedure, people, give us a call and we can talk you through the different options. The main volunteering options at the shelter would be working in the office, answering all the phones, keeping all the vets lists up to date, knowing where each dog, we can't afford to miss any vaccinations,
Of course.
anything like that. So that's all really important. Or you can actually be working in the kennels, socialising the dogs, delivering medication and that kind of things as and when they need it.
Okay, imagine these volunteers, do they usually like have their own job, different job to this, and then they volunteer?
Generally, no. Because of the way we work, we're open 9 till 1 every day. We just don't have the resources to open longer than that. And as we're a functioning working shelter, we need people really who can commit to 1 or 2 mornings a week. So it unfortunately is difficult if you have a full-time job. But there are other things you can do if you can't actually commit to coming in for 4 hours once a week. And we always need people to do vet runs. Our dogs need neutering. Sometimes they need vet visits, so people can come in. Particularly if the dog's going for a neuter appointment, that's usually an early morning. So it's pick the dog up 7:30, and that's something that a lot of people can fit in before they go to work. Exactly, and it's really useful for us to have that transport
because it's small things that does a lot of work for everyone.
Absolutely, it's so useful for us to have a list of people who can take our dogs off to vets. So sometimes it's just a drop-off, other times it's take the dog, wait while they have an appointment and then bring them back. So it could be either.
Okay. But are you always in need of volunteers? Like there's not like a maximum capacity? Like all volunteers are accepted?
Well, it depends on what you can commit.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. It makes sense. Yes.
We always need people to do vet runs.
Okay.
That's something that we do struggle with because it's you're asking somebody to get up that bit extra early in the morning and come and take a dog down to the vet.
Okay.
It's like not the funny part because you're not spending real time with the dog and everything, so it's like
exactly.
But
it is.
But you're helping a lot.
For us, it's absolutely invaluable.
Yeah.
Okay. Next thing, I read about contributing with supplies. What kind of supplies are you most in need of people contributing?
Stupid things like printer cartridges for the printers,
paper,
everything,
everything,
things like that, which you wouldn't actually think of. Office materials. We get through reams of paper, printing out records and dog profiles and things like that. Washing powder. There's an awful lot of laundry that goes on with towels and things like that. So, lob an extra packet of Tide in your trolley when you go to the supermarket.
It's the last thing we would have thought about. Basic stuff.
But your cleaning materials, mops, buckets, brooms. We've got 120 dogs. That's quite a lot of clearing up.
I think so.
Okay, so for everyone listening, like if you can contribute with anything that you can, if you're here in the UAE and want to contribute,
absolutely.
Go for it.
Absolutely. If you're not quite sure, there is a list on our website of things that are useful to us. Also, just give us a call and we can suggest anything. But you'd be surprised at the simple things that you could just pick up in a supermarket that are of great use to us.
I'm sure. Okay, next thing, and I think this one, it's something that you don't need to leave your house, you don't need to contribute with anything, and I think it's useful also. I've read. Think of sharing and reposting in social media.
Absolutely.
Doesn't take any effort to anyone.
No, it doesn't. But the power of social media now is enormous. Just reposting pictures of our dogs, events that are happening. We do some in the winter months. Again, we do some Friday dog walks where any member of the public can come and join us.
Oh, nice.
And that's on a Friday, and that is around the shelter because the industrial area is quiet on a Friday, and you can come in and walk some of the shelter dogs. So sharing events that are happening, all that kind of thing is really useful for us.
Sharing also, like for example, if a dog is lost, that would be also useful, not to share.
And if people have lost their dog, they will contact us, and we will post that for them on our platform because we can share that quite widely. Okay. And it does happen out here. Dogs do get lost. Gates get left open. Yeah. It happens.
Okay, so it's useful to repost. Maybe someone will see that post and say, "Oh, I saw this dog like this morning in this area," And then it will be helpful to find it. About the dog walking events, it's not dog walking. It's like an event that it's done. How often?
It depends on the weather.
Okay.
The weather
As a-
here
as
is
a
really
lot of-
important.
It's
It's really
always
important.
the
a lot of things depend on the weather out here.
Yes, yes. True, true.
But usually 3 or 4 times, couple before Christmas, maybe a couple after Christmas, usually, where any member of the public, you, once we publicised it, you give us a call, we can book you in, reserve you a spot, and you come in and you can take one of our dogs round. We set up a course with water stations around the area, so it's all quite self-contained.
Does the next one already have a date?
We haven't set one yet, but if
Okay.
you keep an eye on our website
Okay.
or
Yeah,
our
right.
Facebook page,
We will.
it'll
we
be
will,
up
yeah.
there
Or
as soon
Instagram
as
as well.
Yeah.
We will repost it so that people know when is the next one. And I think we should go there. We think we should go. It's on a Friday. You said it's on a Friday.
Yeah, that's usually on a Friday.
Okay.
I
Okay, then
miss being around dogs. We
Yeah.
definitely need to go.
we will go. You will see us there.
Great,
So
we'd love
booking
to see it. The dogs would
for
love
sure.
to see it. They love
For
it.
sure.
Our dogs absolutely love these events because every single one of them, apart from the puppies, we get out going on a walk. We get to see how they get on with people, and we hope that maybe somebody will fall in love.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Simon, will you fall in love with a dog?
Man, easily, so easily.
Sure.
That's an issue.
Okay. I want to. This last one, I think it's like a big thing that we all have in our mind. The thing of adopting, don't shop. a dog.
Absolutely.
Is there a lot of shopping here in Dubai?
Yes, there are still pet shops, and obviously there's the animal market. Unfortunately, and you that it does get publicised on social media sometimes. There are instances of dogs of being sick when they come from those environments. Not necessarily the fault of the shop, but of where the ultimate source of those puppies are, and they often they're coming in from other countries. They're coming in too young. They've been illegally, exported. The papers maybe aren't accurate, and maybe the vaccinations aren't always accurate either. Dubai does have quite strict laws on the age of import, but there's sometimes that people find a way around. In the pursuit of money, people will find a way around, and puppies in many instances are seen as a business, not as something alive and vulnerable.
Yes.
For example, I think that in your shelter, it's easier to people is looking more for a puppy than for a grown-up dog, no?
I mean, we always have lots of puppies, but what we don't have are purebred puppies.
Okay.
And there is still a perception that pure breed dogs are better somehow than the mixed breed dogs.
That's it's fake, no? It's
Completely.
Okay.
Completely, because
It's bullshit, yes.
Pure breed dogs often have a lot of health issues because they've been too closely bred. Whereas your mixed breed dogs, they tend to be a lot of the local breeds out here, what we call the desert dogs, so they're much more robust.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're designed for the climate.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was a dog from here for the desert.
Yeah, me neither, but I'm sure that good.
Native dog here from the desert.
Yeah.
Native
Desert
Dubai
dogs. Desert dogs.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what we call them. They tend to be a crossbreed, but there is what they call it a Canaan dog, which is the local kind of Middle Eastern, and they're crossed with that, and they're designed for here, and they tend to be very healthy, whereas a pure breed puppy often has health issues because of a human overbreeding, human intervention.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
and so this goes directed. It's not only for the people in UAE or listening this. Anyone listening to this, please adopt. Don't try not to shop.
Absolutely.
Buy a dog.
We all know puppies are cute, but take care of all dogs as well.
Yes.
Puppies
They
are
need
also
some
a
love.
lot of work.
Yeah,
People don't always realise when they're taking their cute little puppy home that this is an awful lot of work. If you're taking on a slightly older dog at maybe 2 years old, you're potentially going to have less work with them.
He's not going to pee everywhere. You're not going to find poo in your shoe. So
That's true. Is there any other way that we are forgetting to mention in which people can help you, can contribute, can do anything useful for the shelter?
I think it's spread the message.
Spread the word.
Don't avoid overbred puppies. And also really think about if you've got a dog here, take it with you when you leave.
That's true. Yeah.
An awful lot of our dogs from here come when people have left the country and they've sometimes it's because they've thought it's an insurmountable problem. It's not. We can direct people to a lot of useful advice and companies who can help with relocation. You don't have to just give up your dog because you're leaving here.
So in general, how does it go when you have a dog here and you want to take it back home? If you go back home or you go back to Europe, how does it go?
I mean, it's the process is actually quite simple. You know, it can be made very simple if you use a company to do all the paperwork for you. That obviously will cost a little more.
Yeah.
But if you do it yourself, you know, there are papers to fill in from both the country you're going to and the export permits from here. If your dog is fully vaccinated, which it should be by law in Dubai anyway for rabies and all the other things, it's really not too much of a challenge. Some countries are more expensive than others, depending on whether the dog can travel as excess baggage or as cargo.
Okay.
So it depends on the airline regulations and the country of import.
All right.
And it's not that hard to find out, and there's lots of relocation companies out here that can help people with that.
Okay,
It's amazing.
That's really
good to know.
I don't want to ask this question. I know it's a sad question, but do people like abandon lots of dogs here in Dubai? I've seen that in for example, your Instagram, you don't publish the address. It's not written your address because people will like tie the dogs to the fence and just leave.
I never thought about that.
Is this happening? I know it's sad, but
unfortunately, yes, it does happen out here. We've had reports of dogs being just left locked in a villa, dogs just being left out in the desert. Yeah, unfortunately, it does happen. Sometimes because people really don't know which way to turn. You know, we all know Dubai is transient, and some people, you know, they lose their jobs suddenly, and it can become, it can be a very difficult situation for people. Sometimes it's because people haven't planned.
Yeah.
They've thought about everything else, but they've not actually planned what to do, and then suddenly it's the last minute, and they just don't know what to do with their dog, so it just gets left behind.
Okay, but imagine that's happened, that you lose suddenly your job, and I don't know, by any reason you cannot take it with you. What option do you have?
Well, that's when people call us or other rescue organisations
Okay, and then
to see if we can take in, and if we've got space, we will take a dog in, but we are limited by space.
Yeah.
We can only take more dogs in if we get dogs out.
Yeah, of course.
So we've got to be able to. We've got to get those dogs adopted out before we've got space to take.
Okay. But abandoning is not the solution.
No.
Anyway, okay.
No.
Okay, it's not the solution. Okay. Yeah, I want to give some my final thoughts about this. I know there's a negative side to this and a positive side to this, but if my mindset is if you are willing to abandon a dog, I think that you are a worthless human being, to be honest. If you have ever abandoned a dog, or you're willing to do it, you can get the fuck out of this channel and stop listening to DubaiPodcast, because we don't.
We're not going to be friends.
We don't want people like this here. And I want to take a look also to the positive side of all of this, that I think that the work you guys in Kane and Friends are doing, it's crazy. It's so good. It's we need more people like you, Belinda. I wish there was more people like you in the world. It's so good what you're doing. We will help. We will be here to help. We will do the dog sponsoring for sure. We will go to the dog walking event. We will spread everything you guys do in our Instagram also. I know it's not very big. We are not very big yet, but
yet. But we're trying to.
But
come give us a call. Come and visit. Come and take some pictures.
Yes.
Come and meet some of the dogs.
If only one listener in here gets encouraged, or it brings awareness to just want to do anything, this episode has already been a success.
Absolutely,
and
it's
this
great.
whole channel has been a success.
But,
just one.
Pablo, words are too easy to say.
No. From our side, it will be done. But if this episode or anything,
I mean, you guys have done hot yoga now, so what is walking dog?
We got encouraged to do hot yoga from a yoga teacher, so we are going to walk a dog.
Well, do you know what? We actually do puppy yoga.
Really?
Yoga.
We do.
It's a very good combo.
This is something that we can do during the summer when we can't do the dog walking anymore. We get a yoga teacher in, and you get to do yoga playing with some puppies while you're doing it.
This is amazing.
What more could you ask for a Saturday morning?
This is amazing.
I'm not a yoga fan, but for this, whatever, I'll do it.
Amazing.
Because a new meaning to downward dog.
Yes. Do you have any thoughts on this? Any final thoughts about this? I think it's been the most special episode.
For sure.
100% that we've done. I think
I couldn't agree more with what you said. So, but
I'm glad we finished on a happy note as well.
No, of course. come on. The order is to bring. We did this in order to bring awareness to people here in Dubai. Because I didn't know that I had so many options when I came here. I'm sure many people don't know that they have these many things that they can help with. So if thanks to this, now you know, then great. Like spreading awareness is always good.
Companies can always come in to visit as well. We have school visits can come in. Companies can bring a group of people in.
And schools.
We like people to come and visit and learn about the dogs and learn about what we do. Just give us a call.
Sure.
It's amazing.
Sure.
Great.
We're gonna finish this. Of course, we will list all of the contacts and links and webpage of Canine Friends Dubai, the Instagram, the website, how you can contact them. I think we will also list all of these options. We will make like a summary of everything that we said, so people can like go through them again.
Yep.
Belinda, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting Canine Friends to be on.
Thank you so much.
It was amazing.
And thank you guys for coming here. Bye and see you on the next episode.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you.